welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I have a spicy little deck from Patreon subscriber Rage, and this is False Cure Aggro. False Cure is one of these inspirational casual cards. There's been many cards like it over the years. Until end of turn, whenever a player gains life, that player loses 2 life for each 1 life they gained. This is the type of card you read when you're a kid or new or an EDH player and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get that stinky life gain player. But then, as we evolve and grow as players, we learn, what if we just make them gain life instead? And it's not a gotcha, it's a 10-point burn spell for 2. How about that instead? Alongside it, we have the card Kavu Predator. A grizzly bear with trample, and whenever an opponent gains life, put that many +1 counters on Kavu Predator. That means, when they gain life, you can immediately bash that life back out of them, and the Kavu remains that large forever. So giving them life in the short term immediately cancels itself out and then nets damage on following turns. And we combine these 2 cards with this cool mechanic from Mask's block, where they would let you cast spells for free in a variety of ways. And one of them is your opponent gets to gain life. We've got Invigorate. Target creature gets +4/+4 till end of turn. If you control a forest, you can have an opponent gain 3 instead of paying this mana cost. Reverent Silence. Destroy all enchantments. If you control a forest, an opponent can gain 6 instead. Skyshroud Cutter, 4 mana 2/2. Let's go. If you control a forest, you can have each opponent gain 5 life instead of paying this mana cost. That is 10 cards in this deck that, for free, make them gain a large amount of life. If you have something like Kavu Predator, 4 mana 2/2 is bad. A 2/2 that gains your opponent 5 life is probably bad. A 2/2 that's completely free because Kavu Predator just mashed their head in, or False Cure made them get lava axed instead, is phenomenal. Now this is, I called it an aggro deck, but it's an Aggro-Combo deck. Swords to Plowshare is also just a card throughout Magic's history that forces an opponent to gain life, and it's not even weird. You're pretty happy to cast this card just as Swords to Plowshares, but if your Kavu gets bigger or you happen to be under False Cure at the time, we did it. And then we just fill out the deck with Abzan cards. Thoughtseize for interaction, Green Sun Zenith to find the Kavu Predator more often, Ignoble Hierarch, Birds of Paradise to make this clunky pile of mana work. Sylvan Safekeeper in the Zenith package can protect your Kavu to get over the finish line. Sylvan Library to tie it all together. And there we go. That's the deck. This is a lot of fun. The wins are going to be super dramatic. Let's hope we get a few of them. This is False Cure from Rage. I'm on the play in round 1 with some interaction, really good mana, and the False Cure, but no payout yet. I think this is worth a keep. Opponent's on 6. Perfect time to point a Thoughtseize at them. What you doing over there? Reveal your secrets to me. Okay, we're playing against Cephalid Breakfast. I can answer Cephalid Illusionist. Swords to Plowshares is kind of annoying, but I don't really want them sculpting and fixing this kind of bad hand either. I think I'm going to take Brainstorm. That's the card that changes their hand the most. There's the Archive we saw. I hope they blind mill an Archimeeba. That would be so sick. Kept the card. Disappointing, but legal. Verdant Catacombs. Definitely didn't need a land here. I'm a little worried now that it's a combo deck and we're not really doing anything, and they have Swords to Plowshares if we draw Kavu. I have concerns. There's the Ponder. Probably could have fit 1 Underground Mortuary into this mana base. I was working off a lot of very old lists. Like, this was a deck that people used to play sometimes, but it's simply not a deck anymore that people play anymore. The 2 lands. Sad beats. Another Ponder, another land. The Savannah we knew about. I'm gonna crack this Verdant Catacombs. There's no Brainstorms in the deck. We're just getting cards out of the way. Guess I'll get a Scrub land. It doesn't really matter. I have all of my colors because I've drawn all the lands in my deck. I'm losing my mind. I hope my opponent thinks that my hand is just like 5 removal spells, because why else would anyone keep a hand like this? And it's a fair question. Cephalid Illusionist resolves. I'm going to fetch the last Bayou out of the deck, and I will trophy this thing. Don't feel good about it, but it's happening. Maybe they'll try to gain 20 life in response, and I can cure them. Do you think their deck does that? That's my out right now. Okay, we milled over a second Illusionist, so there's 2 of those left in the deck, and Narcomoeba just RNG'd into play. We also see Savannah. We saw that off the opening Thoughtseize, so they're going to have the Nadu pivot. They're going to get to rent mana here. I saw some older builds that had a bunch of Dark Confidants on top of a bunch of Sylvan Libraries, and I am playing the Sylvan Libraries, but the Dark Confidants seemed really reckless given how the free spells actually cost like 4, 5, 6, like $1 million. All right, I'm off it. I've drawn literally 5 lands in a row. Okay, to the sideboard we go. Endurance is fine. Terra Sunder is a removal spell. Keen-Eye Curator rules. Boseiju has some text in the matchup. We're not a Toxicrene matchup. I hope I get to board this in at some point. Exciting card, specifically for Eldrazi. Golgari Charm does kill Illusionist and Nomad and Urza Saga. Wow, that's weirdly sick. It's kind of a bummer, because I think it is probably correct to shave on the combo pieces, because we're playing against a combo deck, and just kind of become fair Abzan Maverick, but that's also insanely boring. I'm going to turn my basic planes into Caracas. They're not going to attack my mana, that's just an upgrade. And they probably have Nadu. Reverend Silence actually does kill Urza Saga. It's probably better than Skyshroud Cutter. Though the Cutter applies pressure. Alright, forget about Urza Saga. Oh, Boseiju can replace basic Forest, so I'm actually just upgrading lands here in the matchup where I don't need to worry about that. Collector of Children's Edict, Pithing Needle, Hell Liberator. My sideboard is actually the good part of my deck here. I'm playing against combos. A fair non-blue deck is kind of whack. I just can't actually bring all these cards in, though. I think I want Edict. Alright, some of the Cutters gotta go. I think Sylvan Safekeeper can go. Okay. Let's try this. I'm not hyped about it, but I left enough in that hopefully we could still do the thing. Yeah, okay. I will keep. There are fewer lands in this hand than last time. I'm going to lead on the bird and just fetching lands to get them out of the way. Blooded Strand from the opponent. The old Birds of Paradise Golgari Charm combo, curving right out. This would be a great turn to draw Kavu. Thoughtseize, play Kavu, hold up Invigorate. Did not shuffle their Ponder. Okay, a Ignoble Hierarch. I can Thoughtseize my opponent. The old Trips Nadu. Well, I guess I'll take Brainstorm, because I can't possibly stop what their hand's actually doing. And I'm going to fetch Savannah, and then attack for 1. In we go. I could make it an attack for 2. Invigorate actually does net 1 damage naturally. That'll show you. That might actually be a sick trick if they only had 1 Nadu in their hand, but they have 3. Like, I would Invigorate just fair and square to clear a Nadu from play. But I don't think that's available. Blighted Halfling, sweet. Their Mana Dork survives my wrath and mine doesn't. The Cutter! Oh my god. I think I'm just going to attack with Birds of Paradise and pass the turn. As if I rip a False Cure, I can do a lot of damage to them very quickly. Kavu Predator would have to wade its way through this pile of Nadus. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm not going to Wrath, so destroy target enchantment before it taps for mana. Get it out. That's a route to Shuko, and if they find Shuko, I lose. I actually know they're a whole hand right now. That's cool. Here's Nadu. This would be the turn to draw False Cure or Kavu, because I know the coast is clear, and I would actually like to Invigorate through this Nadu. Let's go! Game on, sucker. Kavu Predator, now you know what I'm doing. Attack with Birds of Paradise. Trigger. Maybe it would have been better to set up a combo attack with Kavu Predator, make that giant and extra giant next turn. Because I know they just have another Nadu. Okay. Lock is declared. They're still thinking about it. Please pass priority so I can roast your face. Okay. This gets bigger. You gain 3 life. Kavu Predator is a 5/5. Boom. You're not ready for this hurricane. Guess what else I have? This thing. You're a 24. Kavu Predator's a 10-10. Now you know what I'm about. Welcome to the jungle. They just need to draw a Shuko or Nomad and just deterministically win with this illusionist. But if I fade, Kavu could get it done in a couple hits here. Oh no, that was their draw for turn. We had the whole information. Okay. You win. This might be an early concession. Like, people are going to complain, but I have lost. I can't beat Nadu. I can't beat 3/4 flyer if it had no other stats at this point. But it also just wins the game on the spot as soon as they find anything. I'm on to the next round. We're good.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
Ermagerd, we've once again paired into Termagurf. I'm going to keep my hand. It's got all these Sylvan libraries. Let's go. Another combo I've discovered in the deck. Destroy all enchantments in my hand with 2 Sylvan libraries. Cool. Hopefully by the time I cast that, the libraries will have done their job. I'm pretty sure I'm literally never going to just give them 5 life to make a vanilla 2/2 on turn 1. This card is in the deck to be Lava Axe, not to be anything else. They've got a Polluted Delta. I've got an Invigorate. Can my Sylvan library ride me to victory here? I am ready to go as soon as I find a Kavu. We're in. Please don't cast Entomb. Okay, Island doesn't cast Entomb. Cycling Troll. They are a Reanimate Frog deck, though, which probably means they're a Wasteland deck. Grabbing basics. And Troll's in play. I can beat that card. Isn't that sweet? Reverent Silence, destroy Animate Dead, and Sylvan Library. Take it all out. There's Kavu. What do we got? Okay, I don't need... Oh, do I want this Safekeeper? That's so annoying and good. I might just pay 8 here and ride the lightning. All right. Pay 4. Pay 4. We're all in. Kavu Predator. I think if I can resolve Predator and Safekeeper, I win. I probably should have... No, there was no sequencing where I could do both. Okay. That resolved. Do I play around Daze? I could Reverent Silence right now, which kills Animate Dead and Sylvan Library, but makes my thing big. And boy, is my thing big, thinking about the turn I'm about to have. Okay, I mean, if I pass into removal, Safekeeper doesn't work anyway, so there's no playing around Daze. Oh, wow, it's in. Would you like to gain 5 life? Guess what? You don't have a choice. We're going off. And I am going to jam the Reverent Silence. Sylvan Library could eat shit because I get to go off here. Yeah, let's destroy your troll. See that? Never. We've done it. I don't know if this deck can clear a Kavu through a triple shroud wall. And Edict doesn't work. They can't snuff out Fatal Push, whatever. They are at 30, which is a lot, but it's only 2 hits. I can play this Scrub Land and then move to combat. Attack with my creatures. Invigorate. This gets bigger. You gain 3. Plus 7. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember when you had 30 life 1 second ago? Weren't those the days? And they could still just, like, Entomb Atraxa or something, and I would have to draw False Cure to stabilize. I mean, I'm holding Swords to Plowshares. What am I talking about? And if they block with Atraxa, my Kavu gets huge. Okay, Atraxa is coming into play, but I am going to respond to the trigger by plowing this, which makes Kavu even bigger. I'm having a good time, having a good time. Hey, here's a bunch of shit that doesn't matter in their Atraxa pile. GG. Yeah, 22-22 Kavu coming in. Big tramples. Okay, we did the thing at least once in the video. Count it. Endurance comes in. Keen-Eyed Curator comes in. Children's Edict. Caracas is fine. It only hits one card. Or no, we saw Tamio as well. All right, yeah, Caracas is good. Caracas should probably just be in the main deck. I wasn't sure where to put it. I'm not very good at building mana bases that aren't supported by Brainstorm and Ponder, honestly. Like, I wasn't sure where to, if I could just cut like a scrubland and put this Caracas in. Do I play without basic planes? I don't know. But the card's in the sideboard. Right or wrong, that's where it is. Tear Asunder is an awkward removal spell for creatures, but it does work eventually. And it also clears Animate Dead for 2. That's in the maybe pile. Fatal Push Thoughtseize, a bunch of Mana Dinguses, Sylvan Safekeeper. I think the Reverend Silences come out. I think that's just the worst of these things. And if I'm going to trim on the combo, which I am, some amount of basically every sideboard plan, I'm going to reach for that. I think I can lose the Bird of Paradise. I'm bringing in a land, though I'm still plus a mana source without actually losing an initial mana source. The rest of these cards feel very hard to cut, all of these ones. Maybe I just don't play Tear Asunder. Okay, here we are. Submitting my deck, let's party. Okay, here's Caracas. No black source. 1 green source. I am going to keep this. The Swords of Plowshares is good. Sick, we got there. I'm going to fetch for Bayou and Thoughtseize them. The first level of concern is, are they comboing me off? Oh, wow. Were they supposed to F6 there? Because with 2 Emperor of Bones, if you send the Entomb... Okay, I mean, I'm taking Entomb. Yeah, I'm glad I got that Thoughtseize to resolve, or else I would have been on kind of a 2-turn figure it out situation. I do have the Plow as well. Maybe it's right to not bin one of your monsters there. I don't know. I'm not the Frog Reanimator expert around here. Or am I? It's hard to be sure. Ooh. I think what I should do here is play Noble Hierarch and Ignoble Hierarch and leave up Swords to Plowshares. As much as I would like to just jam Sylvan Library and let it ride, I think making sure I don't get Shallow Grave to this turn is worth doing. Not going to block. If they adapt, I'll plow it before it gets bigger. Just taking 2 is fine. Brainstorm. Busted. That was a good find. Now I don't know anything. This is a deck that gains life naturally, though, which is a lot of fun. Like if I'm at 8 and they're at 6 and they attack me with the tracks that they lose into False Cure, it's a good time. I think I leave up Caracas and I play Sylvan Library off of the 2 non-white sources. Them having that Brazen Bar is pretty rough. They could just full-time walk the Sylvan Library. Entomb, uh-oh. Does this target? Exile up to 1. It does. Okay. If they target Emperor with both, or target Archon with both Emperors, they solved it here. Okay. They declined with the second Emperor. Okay, so I'm going to plow this Emperor before it actually exiles the Archon, so it can't adapt and do the thing. But then Archon will be exiled. Yeah, I think they were supposed to target Archon twice to make sure that one of these things got it through a removal spell. Okay. That was a weird little rules snafu that is going to benefit me. I expect my Sylvan Library to get bounced here. Oh, Psychic Frog might be better. Okay, you found a better thing to do. Sylvan Library, Zenith is good. Trophy. Okay, I don't need another Hierarch. If I pay 4 for Trophy, I can Zenith for Kavu and then still play Trophy this turn. Okay. I'll keep one of these cards. Fetch down to 8. No sense in worrying about basic lands at this point. Zenith for 2. My Kavu is here. And I'm just holding up Trophy for Frog. They may have shuffled away that Brazen Borrower, but it seems like it's really good in the matchup. But if they were trying to thread a big Entomb turn, then they may have put it away in favor of Velocity. It's hard to know. The Emperor is triggering, eating my Swords of Plowshares. That's fair. The Frog is attacking. It hasn't jumped yet. Okay, no attack with Emperor. Maybe this Brazen Borrower is gone. Okay, the frog jumped. And I'm going to trophy it now. They've committed what they need to commit for this to be worth doing. Oh no. Well, I wasn't beating Fatal Push there anyway. I had no response to that. My poor Kavu. Sylvan Library, keep it going. Find the gas. Zenith and another Cure. Okay, so double Cure. These actually do stack. Until end of turn, whenever a player gains 1 life, they lose 2 life for each one they gained. So if I false Cure twice, they lose 4 life for each one they gain. This gains them 3 life. So I can 12 my opponent. I would have to go to 4 to do it, because I need Urborg to make that enough black. I could Zenith another... I could just Zenith Keen-Eyed Curator here and be normal. Okay, I don't think I can afford to take the Urborg. And at 8 life, yeah, I'm not going to take the second Cure. Chickened out. Zenith for X equals 2. Keen-Eyed Curator versus Kavu Predator. Actually interesting here. If that last card is Brazen Borrower, that sucks for me. Keen-Eyed Curator will just be a 7/7 soon. All right, I'm going to get the Curator. Didn't borrow in the end step. Just the fear. It's just looming over my head. They're going to eat my Predator. I'm also going to eat my Predator. I don't want them to have a creature under there to Shallow Grave out. I wonder if they forgot that their creature can just be a 4/4 without zooting something out, or if they're worried about getting blown out by removal. Because they had a really good attack with a 4/4 there. Invigorate, Green Sun Zenith. I'm starting to get invigorated in this game. All right, put back the Windswept Teeth for sure. I could Zenith out another Kavu, and at that point, am I safe at 4 life? There are lands and no sorceries. So I can't actually get Delirium with my Curator. I think the second Invigorate is not worth the risk here. Okay, if they counter this, I can get Delirium, because that's a sorcery. Let's go. All right. You sprung my trap card. I'm going to attack with my Raccoon, who represents 8 power. No block. Okay, I could just hold him back. I think I should. Yeah, I'm going to chill, because if I tap out to get Delirium under the Raccoon, then I don't have... I'm leaving Psychic Frog in the graveyard, which they can exile with Emperor, shoot into play, jump. That's an attack for 7. Yeah, leaving this back to make sure the Emperor doesn't get crazy is worth it. Cycling Troll. I am fairly confident they don't have this Brazen Borrower at this point, but it's still such a blowout if they've just been patient about it. The Emperor of Bones targets Troll. I will take the Troll. That one's definitely too good. Okay, they're attacking. I'm not blocking. Do they want to make it 4? I have a lethal attack back if they just have nothing here, which would be great. Okay, I'm at 4. Reanimate Psychic Frog. That is fine. Okay, they're all in. We did it. And I could have eaten that, but I don't need to. And now you have a sorcery I can eat. Yeah, I think I just win here. Oh my god. Well, literally can't. Well, I literally can keep some of these cards, but I literally won't, because I'll literally die. And I need a land under here, which I can do easily out of my own graveyard. Here comes a lethal attack with the big Raccoon boy. And they didn't block. That'll do. Exile Verdant Catacombs from the graveyard. Now it's an 8/8. False Cure. Here we go. You get bigger. You gain life. Holding priority. I want them to know I had 2. Don't concede. Bang! They're at 6 and they're taking 16. We found the line. We did it. We're on the board versus the best deck in the format. That means this is the new best deck in the format. Take it to the bank.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the draw in round 3 versus Forcan, who is a member of the BoshNRoll community. Hello, Forcan. I kept my hand that is 3 payoffs because enablers and payoffs, I've been keeping enabler heavy hands, which don't do anything on their own, but Kavu Predator, I can at least cast Grizzly Bear. They mold to 6 and they have a Bloodstained Mire. I might just die to Reanimator here. Okay, Volcanic Island's good news. We're playing Magic. We might be outmatched by one of the other best decks in the format, but we are at least playing Magic. I intentionally did not include a Dryad Arbor in this deck because I thought it was bad. And it would have been okay here, but I don't think the Zenith package actually needs it with all the other mana dorks we play. Maybe the Birds of Paradise in the deck should just be a Dryad Arbor to fill out this package, but I don't feel too bad about it. They milled a Force of Will with Ponder. The Ponder gives them the 3rd piece of Delirium, 75% of the way there. Did not shuffle the Ponder. They have Delirium. You did it. I feel like I haven't played against a Dragon's Rage Channeler deck in 6 months. I'm sure it's been significantly less than that, but this just feels so like fun and quaint. The Wasteland does not feel fun and quaint. Drawing Swords of Plowshares after I've already taken these beats also does not feel fun or quaint. I am just going to pass here. See how they want to use this Wasteland. I think getting the Plow through Daze and keeping the pressure off is worth more than ramming Predator into Daze and hoping that it sticks around for a while. Rainstorm. This Wasteland still being played is interesting. They could have wasted me on my end step, which stops me from casting spells on their turn. I wonder if they need this mana, and if so, what for? What does Delver use a single colorless mana for? Okay, that is access to basic forest. And now I reveal my plan. My insidious plan. I didn't play around the Wasteland trick, but I don't care. If they Wasteland my fetch land, I fetch, they Daze in response. It's fine. NBD. Black in the end step. Fatal Push is played in all these lists these days. Yep, there goes that. It's cool that I have the Fun of Urborg in my hand, because that just means whenever I get around to it, I can make all my mana black. I would love to draw Skyshroud Cutter or Invigorate this turn. Basic Forest. Invigorate. Speak his name and he appears. Okay. Bayou. They didn't Daze me last turn, and they could have. Do I take this opportunity to Zenith instead of Predating? Because I might not have 3 mana next turn. This is a calculated risk, but I think it's reasonable. If they drew Daze this turn, that's fine. Cool. They drew Daze this turn. Put me in the garbage. It's where I belong. I guess with Fatal Push in hand, maybe they just didn't want to Daze Predator last turn. But the fact that I have to play into Wasteland anyway makes that kind of whatever. Okay, here we go. Psychic Frog has connected. Let the game spiral out of control from here. Sylvan Library. I'm going to play Kavu Predator. And I hope they Lightning Bolt it. I hope they don't Fatal Push it. We didn't do anything to it. That's also acceptable. Doesn't have reach, just trample. It's tough times in this economy to be a Kavu gamer. Just crawling around on the ground, walking through broken trees or whatever it is we're doing here. They brainstormed off the Volcanic Island. I think they just don't realize that I have Urborg in play, where Volcanic Island is actually Xander's Lounge. But leaving up black is correct if they did have to choose, but they didn't. The frog jumped, and they drew a card without shuffling their Brainstorm. Their hand is full of cards they want. Ooh, the Cutter. Okay. Well, let's see if we can make something happen here. False Cure. Start there. If my opponent has no removal or counter spells right now, we're going to have a pretty cool turn. All right, Lava Axe you. Creature's a 10-10. Or no, it's not a 10-10 yet. This represents 10 damage is the stupid thing I'm trying to say. Okay, and now I can attack, and I can invigorate in combat if they don't fatal push it first. No block. This gets bigger. You gain 3. It's a 10-10. This is actually lethal. I didn't even count. I just sent it. If this works. Oh, wow. They had to force of will the invigorate to go to 2. Did not respect the false cure. Okay. Skyshroud Cutter is now lethal. We're in. Big turn. Dude, we could definitely still lose this game. They just need 1 removal spell. But if they don't have 1 removal spell, I'm going to smush them. They jump the frog. I feel like this should have reach. Why is this card so bad? Okay. Look, it's in the branches. It's got big, spiny. It has like slivers for hands. That should have reach. I'd like a call with Mark Rosewater scheduled immediately. Wow! 1 big turn. No respect for the cure. Okay, Grixis Delver, Keen-Eye Curator, and Endurance coming in. Children's Edict coming in. Veil of Summer does beat Counterspell and Fatal Push, and Fatal Push is the primary removal spell right now. I will give this strong consideration. Reverent Silences are out. I'm cutting Birds of Paradise again. Maybe that just... Yeah, I think that maybe that should be Dried Arbor. That was conscious. I didn't just forget Dried Arbor exists. And that gets these 3 cards in. Now the Veils, which were on my maybe list anyway. But if I have to play the game like I'm a combo deck, then Veil is kind of what I want. Shave a Thoughtseize and a Cutter. I could shave another Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is proactive interaction, but it is also like pretty bad when I'm under pressure on the draw against Delver. Okay, I will leave in my Cutters and try to be a combo deck as best I can. A bunch of mana, bunch of removal. Let's do it. They're leading on Undercity Sewers in a 7-card hand, binning a Daze. Looking at my top card, I have access to basic lands. Ooh, found the second part of my combo. I'm going to get basic forest and play Hierarch. Okay. Daze pick up the tap land on... I mean, you're kind of priced into doing that because Ignoble Hierarch represents maybe never caring about Daze again. Here's this back. We're on that slow grind. They're going off. Surveil. Daze. Surveil again. See what I'm doing here? Cooking. I could Zenith for Skyshroud Reclaimer right now. Is that what that card's called? Safekeeper. Sylvan Safekeeper. Skyshroud Reclaimer. That's not even close to a card that's in my deck. I assume that's a real card. Does that like tap to untap another creature? Wow, that was weird. Okay. 2 Dazes are accounted for. I could do that. How many could they possibly have? Mess around and find out thing. Or I could just play around it, which I'm going to do. And I'm not going to fetch this turn unless they make me cast Swords to Plowshares for something, because I actually want to draw lands. Unlike the other games where fetching to get lands out of the way was advisable. I'm in the opposite position now. Found a land. Okay, I think I want to Zenith first. Okay, Sylvan Safekeeper. Fetch. And I am going to get basic planes here. I don't want to be taken off white a lot more than I don't want to be taken off black. Fetching Flooded Strand in response. Fatal Push Safekeeper in response. I could just let this happen, or I could go all in. And you know what? I'm in. Skyshroud Cutter. Each opponent gains 5 life. I got a 7/7. That's going to be pretty tough to kill. Let's run it. Game 1 was a full combo, presenting lethal from basically nothing. This is, I've presented a sticky 7/7. Can you deal with it? Which is probably just as good. But it is a very different gear of the deck. And if they play something big like Murktide or even Frog, it's not that big, but like something like that, Swords of Plowshares also grows Kavu. Tamio played around it perfectly, having 0 power. Solved it. The untouchable 7/7 carries. We have once again beat a Psychic Frog deck, proving that this is the best deck in the format. And we have no data to suggest otherwise. On to the next round.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me.
Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
On the play in round 4, I'm going to keep this double library hand. Yeah, I'm definitely going to add a Dryad Arbor after the league. The posted list will have the Dryad Arbor in it. This was just, whoops. I'm going to replace a Bayou with Underground Mortuary as well. I think those are both two nice little upgrades too. These not even that uncomfortable, or not even that uncommon edge case scenarios. Well, we're getting turn 1 reanimated. Grizzlebrand's here. Animate dead. Yikes. Not an instant. Wow, that would be sick. Okay, well, this happens. We're very dead. I will concede to an unmask because I don't want them to know what I'm doing. This is actually interesting. Do I plow the Grizzlebrand, or do I Reverend Silence the Grizzlebrand, then play Sylvan Library? They gain 6 life either way. One leaves my combo kill in my hand, the other leaves spot removal in my hand. Okay, I'm going to plow the Grizzlebrand. Get Savannah to do this. Plow this thing. This does reveal more about my deck than I care to in a game that we've certainly lost. They go to 5, then they go back up to 11, then they discard 11 cards. Basically no outs here. Drawing Thoughtseize is the only thing that I might consider, but they're keeping the best 7 out of 18 cards here. I suspect they'll have 2 good ones left over, even if I rip the Thoughtseize. Right, Grizzlebrand, Animate Dead, Atraxa, Psychic Frog, Otherworldly Gaze. I'm not going to continue playing this game. If they're already discarding Reanimates, then they clearly don't need them. Okay, Endurance, Curator, Caracas, Boseiju, Needle, Veil. Needle naming Grizzlebrand seems reasonable enough here. Terra Sunder, Sheoldred's Edict. I'm in the literally anything that could help me zone here. They are actual combo reanimator. A Fatal Push out. Reverend Silence. It's weird how useful that might be. I don't think I need to worry about spot removal. Don't need to ramp that hard. I'm going to remove a couple of cutters. I don't need plains. I don't need forest. Just upgrade to the non-basics. I think if they have creatures in play, I'm already dead. I'll cut most of my plows here and hope this works. Though, why would I cut plow and add Sheoldred's Edict? That's just a worse card. Okay. I think this is the place to be. As good as it's going to get anyway. Thoughtseize. I'll keep it. Thoughtseize into Sylvan Library is at least something instead of nothing. Seize you. Frog, animate, force, ponder. If I take Frog, they can animate it. If I don't take Frog, they could just cast it. I am taking Frog. I could take Ponder, actually. And then if they force my Sylvan Library, it'll cost them their Frog. Yeah, I'm taking Ponder. Their hand is actually really slow compared to what we saw last game. There's the Sewer. It's up to Dark Ritual. I'm going to fetch for Bayou. Drawing False Cure brings some of the pieces together here. Bayou, Library. If they drew a blue card for their draw step, that wasn't Frog. Okay, they pitched Brainstorm, cleared my library. Frog, animate 2 lands is their hand right now. Misty Rainforest, here comes the Frog. I did cut a bunch of plows. I still have a couple in though. Reverend Silence, LOL. Okay, I can play Ignoble Hierarch here. And I can False Cure Invigorate on their turn. Or I could do it all next turn, which is 6, 9, 13, 14 damage. Okay, I'm just going to chill. And if they attack and they don't jump, I could just help the Frog in combat. Yeah, they just jumped immediately. Not messing around. More interested in the card. Discard a Polluted Delta to make it bigger. And played a Delta from hand. All right. Big rips. Wow, that is kind of a big rip. Okay, I'll just inflict thousands of damage to them. False Cure. Sky Shroud Cutter. Roast ya. Attack for 1. That's actually 8, but don't tell them. Invigorate. And we have lethal here. If they have nothing. Boom. Opponent said that was pretty cool in chat. I agree. Out of nowhere. That was sick. Okay. I saw Frog game 1 and then still boarded out a bunch of Swords of Plowshares. And I'll just cut the needle, go +1 plow. Needle can name frog and makes it quite a bit worse, but also I'd rather it just be gone. Okay, we're on the draw. Endurance is my only 0 mana interaction. No surgicals or anything going on here. Okay, Caracas, plow. Yeah, I'll keep. That's the thing about Frog Reanimator. If you mulligan to 6 or 5 to find your endurance and then you pitch 2 cards, you have 2 cards and they play Frog. Or if they just don't even test you. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm getting tested. Entomb. Well, Atraxa is interesting because it does lose a lot of life to reanimate it. And I have Caracas, which cannot be discarded from my hand. Okay, so they kept Animate, Thoughtseize, Sea, Tomb, Frog. And here's the Thoughtseize on the stack now. They're at 10, and I can clear the Atraxa. They can entomb a different thing immediately and cause problems for me. They need another mana. We might be able to survive the opening salvo here. Well, clearly Caracas has to be my play here, just to be alive at all. I guess I should... Oh, I can wait until attacks to bounce her, so they don't have like a Shallow Grave, Tin Fin, Grizzlebrand turn. I can at least wait until this phase. They bounce that. We know they have Frog that can discard Atraxa and then immediately get reanimated. And if they have a mana source in hand, they can entomb Animate Dead, just something totally different and better next turn. I don't think I'm going to get Wastelanded or Blood Mooned here. I'm going to get Bayou because I'm building up black sources in case I rip False Cure, which is kind of how I have to blitz my way out of this game. Okay. Entomb, Animate Dead is on. There it goes. Archon of Cruelty, pretty good here. Wow, they solved it. Archon of Cruelty. I'm going to discard Basic Forest. Lose my Hierarch, discard Forest. Frog getting to work. Discarding Atraxa. It's going to happen anyway. Might as well get the damage. And I did not draw a False Cure. GG. We got to do the thing once. On to the final round. I'm on the draw for the final round. Positive record on the line. I'm going to keep my hand. I've got mana. I've got access to a Kavu. I've got a way to cash out Kavu. It's on a mull to 5. I'm either dead immediately or the Thoughtseize is going to be insane. Bloodstained Mire. Faithless Looting. Okay, please don't follow this up. Discard 2 things that aren't monsters, maybe. Entomb Grizzlebrand. Okay, no Lotus Petal. You're saying there's a chance. Ripping the land. Just what we wanted. White cards in my main deck are Swords of Plowshares. Just determining if I want to get Scrubland here, because my hand's full of green already. I am going to get Scrubland. Just in case. Okay. They have Reanimate and Exhume. I'm going to take Reanimate. Or, I'm going to take Exhume because Reanimate at least taxes their life. Those are pretty good 5 cards. Fetching first. The Reanimate does give them 1 mana to continue casting spells, but I think drawing 7 cards is worse for me than that. If I draw False Cure, I could win right now. False Cure off the top? Bummer. Like, if they attack with Grizzlebrand, I False Cure, they actually just lose. Oh, what a dream. Okay. We've basically lost at this point. Lotus Petal. False Cure, you're dead. JK, don't have it. Animate Dead, Atraxa. Okay. I'm not about to get unmasked. And Combo Reanimator. It's back in the metagame, and my sideboard is not really built for it. You can, of course, stack up your sideboard with Surgical Extractions or even Leyline of the Void if you want. Like, those are all things you could do. Those are just not things I did with this build. But you can, of course, adjust to your metagame. Just some light cuts here, bring in the cards that I think might be good. And off we go. Thoughtseize, False Cure, Curator. I'm going to keep. And I'm in a bit of a mana squeeze here because I need double green for Curator. But I guess that just means I wait on Swords to Plowshares. Because if the Curator does a job, I don't need to plow. Entomb, Exhume, Serenity, Show and Tell, Faithless Looting. This is a lot of shit. Only one of these is a Reanimate spell, though. I'm going to take the Exhume. I can't take Show and Tell there because Curator's too slow to stop the Exhume. Looting. Grizzlebrand Atraxa immediately. The 2 cards drawn. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I took Exhume. And the fact they discarded those instead of leaving them in their hand for the show and tell is interesting. That means they also found a reanimate. And I'm just SOL. I can't activate Curator this turn anyway. If that's a next turn play, yeah, I'm actually just going to play Kavu Predator. Here we go. Now if I draw a white source, plow their Grizzlebrand, I'm in for a huge amount of damage. If they shove show and tell, I'll put a Raccoon into play. Then what? They made no plays. Oh, this Verdant Catacombs got the bad... They missed their land drop. Fascinating. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to attack with Kavu Predator. And then I'll cast Keen-Eyed Curator, who, again, GG is the cost of that card. Hopefully GG is also what it represents in the game. If this was a forest, I'd feel a lot better about my life. Firing an Entomb in the end step. Entomb dumped to Serenity, so they're just getting bad cards out of the deck at this point. Okay, if they have another Exhume, they still get a monster this turn, but I pick which one it is. If they have Animate Dead, or they would have sent Shallow Grave also. I'm going to exile Atraxa here, because if they get greedy on a Grizzlebrand, that I can punish better than Atraxa. Double False Cure. And now I'm holding up Veil of Summer backup. Here come the beats. My kingdom for a Sky Shroud Cutter. I could have attacked for more there. Can I get Delirium instant? Or yeah, I could have got Delirium there, but that puts down all my things that I have up. Well, the show and tell's on. Oh wow, they're just Faithless Looting. Love that. Yeah, wild that show and tell. I guess if they, at the time they were missing land drops, so it makes sense that they might have held out. Discarded, hoping to find Reanimate. But hold back one of the monsters, play one of the other ones, also kind of does both. Instant, sorcery. Now I have 9 power in play. Still can't win, but it's getting harder and harder to lose. They haven't actually seen what my deck does. I just literally played this 2-2 with Trample on turn 1, or turn 2, and it's gone the distance without doing anything else. If they find a monster to show and tell, they could win here. Entomb. Entombed Faithless Looting. Yeah, they're in desperation mode. Real bad. Flashback Looting. Okay. If they get Archon, I just False Cure and they die. They go to -1. Discarded Show and Tell. Played Show and Tell. All right. I mean, resolves. I'm going to put in Kavu Predator. Ah! You thought you had the cure, but it was false. My Kavus get heckin' large, and also... And I could have also just veiled this and attacked them to death, but this is so much funnier. Okay, so they go to 5 and then they lose 6. Deal. I'm gonna lose the Keen-Eyed Curator because the Kavus are funnier. No, all right. I'll actually sack the untapped Kavu who didn't really do anything this game, and I'll lose the other False Cure. I want Kavu to get bigger before they lose 6 life, just so the Kavu had a chance to grow, had a chance to live. Oh yeah. That'll do you. Just how we drew it up. Plow seizes Veils. Just thinking, do I want Sheoldred's Edict? Do I have any counterplay to a show and tell? I mean, Thoughtseize is my counterplay to that. Mindbreak Trap's a little wonky. It's only good on turn 0, but I only have 1 Endurance and no Surgicals in the deck. I feel like I'm kind of priced in versus the Turbo Dark Ritual Reanimator list. Okay, this is my deck. Let's play. 1 of Endurance and no support. Mulligan. 2 Plows I can't cast. No follow-up. I can just put some creatures into play and hope they're good. I think I have to go to 5 here. Alright, I can cast the Plow. Swamp, Verdant Catacombs are gone. Feels bad. Looking at the Endurance, no help for it. A lot of green cards, right? Yeah. Yep, most of the deck. Unmask targeting me. Pitching Unmask. 4 cards left. When they unmask you, you know you're already dead. Because sometimes Turbo Reanimator has to unmask itself as a put a thing in the graveyard. But if they don't even need that, I'm in trouble. Lotus Petal Go. That's weird. Alright, well, maybe we're playing? I don't know. That's very strange. Bayou, Hierarch. You're dead in 20. Let's go. 19. You're dead in 19. If I can Zenith for Curator, like if they actually just kept on the strength of Unmask with no real play, this is not nothing. Okay, suddenly a game is unfolding before our very eyes that I wasn't expecting to get to play. Scrubland, Zenith for Raccoon. Curator, you're in there, buddy. Hold 1 turn. Opponent's not functioning right now. Let's keep them there. They must be on the edge. I bet they're like 1 mana source away from going off. And they whiffed. They whiffed. Okay. I could just False Cure blast you here. There are instant land sorcery in the graveyard. I can't get Delirious until you crack that Lotus Petal. Then I'm Delirious AF. Yeah, I think I want to sandbag my surprise here. Kill them with the fair and square, as Garfield intended. False Cure. Again. They appear to be passing the turn again. I'm going to fetch. I'll get another Bayou. I already have white. Exile this sorcery, this instant, and this land. It's going to be hard to get another card type into the graveyard without my opponent cooperating. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're just dead. Thoughtseize a creature from you is lights out here. Archon of Cruelty, show and tell. Ooh, they can Dark Ritual unmask. That's fun. No, they can't, because I could just exile it again in response. And then they lose. All right, yeah, I'm taking the Archon. And I'm exiling it. And then I'm combo killing your ass. We've got 8. Oh, they're at 1. That's sad. Still gonna heckin' do it. Let's go. False Cure. Invigorate. Target you. Sometimes in the combo mirror, they hit their fail rate and you don't. A positive record with False Cure, Abzan aggro in this league. Immediately after the league, Birds of Paradise becomes Dryad Arbor. One of the Bayous becomes Underground Mortuary. 2 easy upgrades there. I wonder if we do want the Dark Confidants or even just more Sylvan Libraries. I'm not sure where you would put them. Probably the Assassin's Trophy slots, but yeah, Assassin's Trophy is good against like Eldrazi specifically, but we're also a Swords of Plowshares deck. Yeah, I want more card selection somehow in these slots. I'm not going to make that change in the deck list because that's more of a decision for the player to make than me, obviously, just tuning up my list that I missed a couple correct decisions on. Sideboard, same thing. We played against Reanimator a bunch of times in this league with a sideboard that's barely equipped to deal with it. You can stack up on that if you want to, or you can ignore it if you want to. That's up to your metagame. But in terms of how the deck actually functions, they die quick when the pieces come together. The deck asks a lot, like having a creature, preferably Kavu, a False Cure, and some of these things. We definitely had games where these things sat in our hand completely useless. And we also had games where we domed an opponent from 18 who thought they were stable. This is certainly a way you can play Magic, and it was exhilarating to do so. Rage, thank you for the opportunity to do this. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.